Well, it's time once again to review yet another episode of Space 1999.
So what happened in this? Are they still stuck on the moon?
Oh yeah, they're still stuck on the moon, traveling through deep space. So a lot of shows would do these episodes that were reflective of holidays, most notably Christmas and Halloween. And I don't know that they ever did a Christmas episode per se, or maybe they did and I've already forgotten. But but this one that I'm about to do, called Troubled Spirit, could count as a Halloween show. I think it came out like in February in '76 or something like that. So it wasn't timed for October or anything. But nevertheless, it takes on some horror elements, and other episodes did as well. The End of Eternity was one, more or less, because you had that immortal psychopath that they had unwittingly released. But this one is very weird. They're having some sort of performance, and most of the crew are sitting and watching this guy play the guitar, and it's this weird stuff that you get high to. It's the only way you can enjoy it. Meanwhile, down the hall in some lab with a bunch of plants and whatnot, some people looks like to be having a seance. So everyone's dropping acid to this weird music, and something peculiar happens. There's all of a sudden wind blows and everything, and this scientist comes in and interrupts it, and a crewman named Mateo, I don't recall him, but...
Well, you probably weren't paying attention earlier. He was probably always around.
Well, I don't think so, but whatever. There's a lot of people on there, so they can always introduce someone that's more than likely going to be dead by the end of the show.
Oh, my God. Yeah, well, what a way to spoil it.
Yeah, well, sorry. So... what he's doing is not having a seance per se. He's trying to talk to the plants.
What?
Yeah. Now there's something to this. There are some experiments that people have done that said there's, they can detect certain, reactions in plants to certain sounds and whatnot, and even violence. They get nervous about it.
Oh, wait a minute, you mean plants can feel things?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, my God. Well, now, what am I going to eat? I mean, I'm vegan. I did that so I wouldn't be killing living things.
Well, plants were always alive, Lefty, but...
Yeah, but they weren't supposed to feel anything. It sounds like they got a soul.
Yeah. Yeah, well, according to this episode, they do, I guess. I don't know. But in doing this, he unwittingly unleashes a killing force, which turns out, and this is kind of tapping into, I think, the plot of the Forbidden Planet, where you're releasing the id unwittingly again. And that's kind of what he did. But the weird thing about it is this ghost keeps appearing and attacks other people. Even his girlfriend dies as a result. And it's this horribly scarred version. Eventually you get a good look at him as a horribly scarred version of Mateo himself. So it's like, oh, it's his evil half, sort of a Jekyll and Hyde thing. But no, it's sort of his spirit from the future, and that he's angry and mad at the other crewmen because they didn't save him from death. Of course, it's really his own fault, because in the end he has to confront this entity, and as a result of the fight between the two of them, he dies. The spirit is vanquished, but there's Dan Mateo on the floor. He's dead, and they roll him over, and he's all scarred and everything from the ordeal. And so, he was somehow projecting the future, and this is the weird forces that he tapped into. So be careful about, dropping acid and smoking pot and listening to weird psychedelic music and having a seance in a greenhouse. It could go very bad. So that's pretty much, but all in all, this is probably one of the better episodes that they did. It's kind of rather simple. You don't quite know what happens here or how or why. And a lot of, even like Star Trek and whatnot, they would all just sort of, ESP is a factual thing. And at some time in the future, they would have determined it.
Oh, my God. I mean, what the hell? You can't even be safe around your garden.
No, you can't. But again, it plays into things like, I guess, you could say Jekyll and Hyde, but I think Altered States was a similar theme of this tapping into unknown forces, but you're not really equipped to deal with it, so you don't know what you're doing, and you unleash evil.
Yeah, that's terrible. And all he wanted to do was have a little chat with a plant.
Yeah, but it wasn't having any of it, so it released his inner demon from the future. That's the part they don't really explain, I guess.
Well, he tapped into cosmic forces that allowed this sort of thing to happen.
Yeah. Even though at the point of his death, he was pretty mad at them for locking him up in the chamber where they were trying to draw out the spirit so they could somehow deal with it. Not realizing it was he's just going to end up, killing himself because both of them were the same guy. But that leaves him thinking that it was their fault rather than his, I guess, which is why he kills some of the other crewmen, But he was kind of an arrogant butthole anyway, so it's too bad the other people got killed, but who cares about that guy? So anyway, this was actually one of the good ones. It's weird, but and another element of sci-fi shows is when you have your ready-made sets, try to make use of them as much as possible, and this is sort of a shoot it on the ship type story, but works out pretty good. So all right, so Troubled Spirit is one of the good ones for Space 1999. Here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr. Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.